my name is Jean and this is my channel Learn with Jean. In today's video, I'm really excited to talk to you and share with you and give you an overview of the iSpring Suite 10 software. So oftentimes I hear from entrepreneurs, course creators, and instructors that they're looking for something to build their lessons in. They want to really change the way their online course is delivered. They want to build a better learning experience, and they really want to get their students engaged. And so for people who are not familiar with a lot of tools out there, they go down the rabbit hole and they look up different keywords about interactions and interactive tools, and they get down into the rabbit hole and weeds of searching and learning all these different tools, and then they realize time has flown by. And the only challenge with that is that not only are we busy and we don't have all the time in the world to learn a bunch of different tools, it's important not to get too caught up in trying to learn a bunch of different tools and focus on a tool that really guides you and teaches you and walks you through the course creation and course lesson authoring process. And so that's what I really like about iSpring Suite 10, because it really gives you an opportunity to see the different ways that your lessons can be delivered, how to take advantage of different tools and resources in their content library, and use cases as well. So I'm going to give you an overview of the different features that really make your course interactive and help take your course to the next level, and show you some examples and talk about some use cases. So first of all, for those who are not familiar with the iSpring Suite 10 software, it is a software that can be used for both Mac and PC users. Now, most of us who are Mac users will know that in order to run a Windows software on a Mac, you will need to run a software such as Parallels or Boot Camp so that your Mac is also functioning as a PC. But the most important part is that iSpring Suite 10 is an add-on to Microsoft PowerPoint, so that if you have PowerPoint, you just add on iSpring Suite 10 and you really can start building and playing with the different features very easily and very quickly. So I feel like that's what makes iSpring Suite 10 a much better and easier learning tool, is because the onboarding and process to get familiar with this tool is so much faster and so much easier. As you can see, I've installed it here in Microsoft PowerPoint, and I can show you some examples that really can really impact and make your online learning a little bit more effective. So first of all, here is a sample course that can be built using iSpring Suite 10 in PowerPoint. So they give you these templates and they sort of walk you through, what the foundations in terms of course objectives, how to think about slide transitions. And the cool thing is that these slides aren't very boring. If you think about like having to record your voice over different slides and just with a lot of text, iSpring 10 really allows you to take advantage of templates, and then you can add images. You can also record audio and video and then manage the timing of the different lessons. And so if you go into the slide templates, they'll give you some guidance into the different template styles that you can take advantage of that might guide you into the building of your online course. And so it'll take a little bit of time to load because it's on a Mac. I'm running Windows on a Mac. But as you can see, they really start to give you different styles and designs, and sort of thinking about like layout, what's the best way to present my course. And so there's so many choices and different styles to choose from, so it really makes your slides a little bit more impactful, engaging, and also fun. If you think about just a traditional PowerPoint slide with lots of text and bullet points, these have a little bit more aesthetic, and they really kind of chunk down information into much more smaller and bite-sized ways. So we can look at this one as an example, and I'll insert this into the slide so that you can really see why it really is different. So like I'm teaching, like this is more of an intro slide, and you can list all your learning. So this is more of a slide that just talks about, but you can choose from these other templates, and I have to edit this. So what I love is that in these templates, they give you kind of different slide designs in terms of if you want an opening slide, a navigation slide, a content slide, or a closing slide. So they really help you build the entire presentation from beginning to end. And so if we take like this sample of this one, it really helps you change how you design your slides so that when you're giving students a lot of information, you're balancing the amount of text to the amount of images so that it is easier on the brain and easier for them to process. So if I'm teaching a lesson on, iSpring Suite 10, I would have an image of the software and then have some bullet points here that talks about it as like, voiceover. I can do screen recording, and I can talk about the features such as content library. And so rather than just a slide that says, okay, iSpring overview and a bunch of text and me talking over the text, I'll have some images. And so it really makes this a little bit more effective than your typical slide. The other thing that's really powerful about this tool is that I can also do role plays. And this is what I really like about iSpring Suite, is because it's not easy to build role plays on our own, in terms of writing a bunch of text and sketching it out for our students to be able to play virtually. But in here, what I can do is click on role play and start building a role play scenario and say, okay, I'm having a conversation, and how do I build a role play into this course? So I'll click on role play. And so this is the role play scenario, and it's cool. I can start, they can give me some tips on how to build a new role play. And then I can add different scenes. I can add different characters. I can assign images, and that's what was really amazing about this, is that, this isn't just a generic role play. I'm really encouraging myself as a teacher and instructor to really enhance the character and who's going to participate in this scene. So I chose a character, and it'll take a while to load. And then I can say, hi, I'm excited to share with you about iSpring. Okay, it's taking a little, it doesn't, I probably, and then I can say, I can put a character emotion so that, it changes the way that they are presenting and talking to you. And then I can add a message that says, let me know what you want to know or learn. And just the idea is I'm having fun with this kind of role play, and that's just my first scenario. And so I can continue with this role play and add different characters and have different, so this is one where I say, I'm excited to talk to you about iSpring, and then I can add a new scene and choose a new character where my student is another person and he's really excited. And he says, takes a while, I'm excited to learn from you. And then he can say, this is really cool so far. So it's like a virtual role play or back and forth dialogue about iSpring Suite in your online course. So like if you're role playing and teaching Spanish, and you want to be able to have a conversation and role play a conversation about ordering food, then this is a great way to deliver this lesson. And so it's very easy once you get the hang of just, playing around and using different features of iSpring to build these kinds of lessons. So I'll save it, and then it'll plug into my slide in a second. And so now now this is in my slide, and if I want to, as a student, when I'm in this course, what I'd like to do is just click on role play. Why is my... So as you can see, there's so many different ways to take advantage of these features to deliver your lessons in a more engaging way. So role play is one. The other way that you can even think about this is like quizzes. Like oftentimes we like to build multiple choice quizzes that are very like using Typeform and or Google Forms. And this is where iSpring Suite, this tool, their quiz tool, really can make our quizzes a lot more effective and a lot more fun too. So it takes a while to load. And so iSpring has a built-in Quizmaker, and so you can see I have a sample quiz that I could pull from, and they also give me some templates of a graded quiz, and if I were just creating a survey, I could just use their survey tool. But the great thing is that I can even create different question groups. So if I'm giving a multiple choice quiz and I want to create different categories, I can assign different topical categories to each question group. So I created one, and then I can have a new question group and call this intermediate iSpring quiz, and then add a question. I can add different kinds of like questions. So then this is what it's like. If you're familiar with H5P, this is where this is similar. So except this is now built into your slide. So you can have multiple choice, multiple responses, but what I really like is the hotspot because this really is a different kind of quiz. So they have to click on different areas. You can add pictures, and then you can choose pictures for each hotspot from their content library, or you can pull from your file. I don't have anything on this Windows environment, but if I did, I could look through and pick something and then build more interactive image-based hotspot quizzes where they hover over and click on where they click over and then they start to take the quiz. And so now I'm going to close this, and I'm not going to save it because it's going to slow down this video. But the other cool thing I want to talk about is that you can also record your screen. So it's really robust because if you think about it, like most screen recorders are add-ons if you use Loom or if you use Descript or you have to download Camtasia or other screen recorders. This allows you to screen record so that you can practice recording yourself on camera as well. And so the other thing I want to show you is the content library. And so as I've said earlier, the slide templates are really, really helpful. They really give you a wide variety of designs and styles depending on whether you're designing your lessons, course lessons from the beginning, or if you're looking for like kind of like a closing slide. They really give you so many choices to choose from. But my favorite part is the content. As I showed you earlier, the 40-60 one is one I liked, or this one, the 50-50 or the 30-70. The other one that I really liked was the situations, because if you're teaching like Spanish and you want to give different options and examples and case studies, this is a great lesson slide design to use and incorporate, because you can have different kind of scenarios, like, okay, I'm at the market, I'm at the restaurant, I'm at a museum, and I'm at whatever else, and how do I, communicate in this kind of situation? What would be the words that I would use? What kind of conversation would I have? And so it really helps you design these learning experiences in a much more impactful, engaging, and interactive manner. The other thing is, besides the slide templates that I really like, I also like the characters. So as you saw earlier in the role play, I could choose from different characters, a wide variety of faces and expressions, and just professional looks, or maybe different like healthcare looks or student looks. They really have tried to cover all different industries, backgrounds, ethnicities, what the facial expressions are, so that it's really designed to help you think like the lesson. Am I want to be positive? Do I want to be engaging? Do I want to be like expressive? And that's the beauty of this content library. These characters that they've created, they're very diverse. They're very comprehensive to the best of their ability, and they also show different kinds of facial reactions and also from different industries, so that this isn't just for any course creator. It covers a lot of different topical areas. And then the last thing I want to talk about before I talk about the use cases is the interaction. And so this is really helpful because in online courses, if we're just giving students slides, there's not a lot of engagement. And with this interaction tool, you can really build different kind of interaction points throughout a lesson and ask students questions and prompt them and, you know, really challenge them to not just sit back and listen, but also, you know, participate in this experience. So I can create a new interaction, and they give you so many different choices. You know, do I want it to be more of a list type? Do I want it to show like a process, like if I'm teaching like operations? And I can even choose from different media catalog styles, or even this one is really popular if you use HIP. It's the accordion. So I can use this as an example, and it'll take a minute. And so I can, let's just say this is a video on iSpring Suite. I can talk about it in the lens of a content library. Panel 2 would be more of screen and video recording. And then the third one would be interactive lesson types. And so the idea is each of these, I'll show you what it looks like. So if I'm teaching you this video in a course, like this would say content library, and then I would click on the second tab, screen and video recording, and then the third one, interactive lesson types, and be able to learn as I click through and progress through. And the other cool thing is that this is designed really well for different devices. So as you can see here, this is what it looks like on desktop. They also show you tablet, tablet portrait, also mobile phone landscape, and mobile portrait. So they really try to cover as much as possible when designing courses for different environments, for different devices, and also different industries. And so last of all, I want to talk about different use cases. And so you might want to say, well, you know, I'm not sure if this is for me. I'm kind of a novice user. Do I really benefit from something like iSpring? And I want to show you a great example of a quiz. So this is a sample quiz, and what I think, and this quiz is really awesome as an example and use case of why iSpring Suite is a very powerful tool. So if this is, you know, if you think about it, most of us like multiple choice or type form. This is just really a next level kind of quiz. So it is like very much, the images really reflect, you know, what correspond to the question. So the idea is what password is the safest, and I don't know, we'll just pick something and see if we get it right or not. And then it says, oh, we didn't get it right, and it kind of gives you this explanation. And then the last example that I want to show you is the last example that I wanted to show you is this presentation with interactions. So this is another great example of how it shows you the way it's displayed on different devices, so that it's responsive and customized, and the format is adaptable to different styles and layouts, which is really important because when you're thinking about building online courses, not everyone is consuming their course on their computer. Some people are busy on the go and they need their phones. But the cool thing about this course and this presentation is that it has a lot of interaction. So I click play and I read over this, and I can click on play again, and it gives me another scenario. And so it continues with this afterwards, and it's really interesting and it's really fun. It's not just some boring lesson. And so that's what iSpring Suite 10 really does well, is it makes building the course lessons really fun and really positive and really rewarding for you as a creator, and also for the students who are participating in this learning. So I hope this video was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions about iSpring Suite 10, what kind of demos you would like to see, any specific features that you want to see me cover more, and I'm happy to talk about it and do another video. Thanks for watching.